Hello, welcome to RT Today, where we bring you Middletown High School's announcements for the week ahead, a wrap-up of what happened in the news last week, and more. I'm Kaden Ratliff. This week's show is brought to you by
Shockley Honda, located across from Westview on Route 85.
Let's go to Aaron Katie with a look back in This Week in History.
In This Week in History, on January 28, 1986, the Challenger space shuttle exploded just seconds after liftoff, killing the 7 astronauts aboard. This was the 10th trip for Challenger and included a teacher from New Hampshire, Krista McAleef, among the astronauts as a part of a new Teacher in Space project. The launch was shown live on CNN, and many schools had set up televisions for children to watch due to the involvement of a teacher in the shuttle. The cause of the accident was due to some ignored warning signs that certain equipment on the ship was vulnerable at new temperatures, leading to the fuel tank to be knocked out of place after being hit by the rocket booster. Other crew members aboard the Challenger ship included Michael J. Smith, Dick Scobie, and Ronald McNair, as well as Ellison Onizuka, Gregory Jarvis, and Judith Resnick. That's your look at This Week in History.
Now let's hear about this week's birthdays from Luke McLister.
Happy birthday last week to Ryan Jones, Lauren Walker, Luke Humble, Carly Klein, William Foster, Ava Perez, Olivia Ramsey, Cole Witt, Taylor Broadbent, Riley Copperthwaite, Sophie Hewitt, Michael Johnson, Hannah Durr, Ava Eiler, Kyla Haga, Logan Hoyt, Lily Miller, Kayla Morgan, William Morgan, Aiden Page, and Emmeline Tolley. Happy birthday this week to Abigail Bolsey, Allison Reed, Jacob Smith, Liam Wilson, Madeline Coyne, Michael Depot, Celia Kiefhofer, Dylan Raymakers, Aiden Welch, Elizabeth Lent, Wyatt Moxley, Thomas Poffenbarger, Connor Robinson, Ava Allen, Leda Sedana, Sophie Dessler, Isaac Obando, Lena Ahalt, Tess Allen, Ava Hubble, Jenna Kruger, Johnny Lightfield, and Aiden McGrath.
Let's go to Ethan Mulligan with This Week announcements.
Middletown High School was well represented at the Frederick County Young Author Contest this year. Capturing first place for 9th grade poetry was Clara Stamper, and finishing in second place for 10th grade poetry was Vera Winchester Dodman. Congratulations to Middletown's poets. On Friday, January 8th, the MHS academic team earned second place, competing against Frederick and TJ High School for their first match of the season. Thank you to the 16 students that competed on behalf of MHS. Students are expected to return as part of an in-person hybrid model on Tuesday, February 16th, Wednesday, February 3rd, and Wednesday, February 10th will be asynchronous learning days. An all-virtual model remains for families who choose this option. In collaboration with the Frederick County Health Department, and as recommended by the Return to Play Subcommittee and approved by leadership, Frederick County Public Schools will resume winter sports on Monday, January 25th. 1 week of traditional practices and intra-squad scrimmages will be followed by a 2-week competition season that will run from Monday, February 1st to Friday, February 12th. Fall sports are scheduled to begin on Saturday, February 13th.
Thanks, Ethan. Now let's find out what's been happening in the rest of the world. Here's Gabby Pieklo.
Last Wednesday, January 20th, President Joe Biden was officially inaugurated into the president's office. This inauguration followed multiple attempts by former sitting president Donald Trump to contest the election results. Biden was inaugurated into the president's office alongside Vice President Kamala Harris, the first woman to be voted into this office, as well as the first African American to be voted into this office. In the final hours of his administration, President Trump signed 73 pardons and 70 commutations. Many were for nonviolent drug offenders who were believed to be harshly punished by the law and in line with criminal justice reform earlier in the administration. However, many high-profile names were involved, including former chief strategist Steve Bannon, who is on charges of frauding donors to a Build the Wall fundraiser, a commutation of former mayor of Detroit, Kwame Kilpatrick, who received a commutation of his 28-year sentence, of which he had served 7 of. Rappers Lil Wayne and Kodak Black also received clemency. However, Joe Exotic, who was expecting a pardon so much as to hire a limousine, did not receive one. Following the riot on Capitol Hill on January 6th, the FBI have launched an investigation and have arrested multiple personnel linked to the riot. The FBI have been utilizing terror watch lists and social media videos to identify as many involved personnel as possible. Up next, Lydia Vandry tells us what's been happening in the world of arts, entertainment, and celebrity.
The Bachelorettes Claire Crawley and Dale Moss have called it quits 2 months after their engagement aired. Crawley said she knew early on that Moss was the only guy for her. Until this week, Moss and Crawley appeared very much in love. Moss admitted he felt the same. Quote, "I wanted to share with you all that Claire and I have decided to go our separate ways," unquote. Moss posted on Instagram on Tuesday, January 19th. Famous actor Armie Hammer has been rumored to be a cannibal. Several screenshots have surfaced of DMs with Hammer talking about his cannibal desires with women. In one message, Hammer says, quote, "I am 100% a cannibal," end quote. He then goes on to quote, "I've never admitted that before," end quote. Hammer has not openly spoke about these allegations. Olivia Rodrigo's single "Driver's License" made pop history this past week. The song is currently #1 on the Billboard Top 100 chart. Rodrigo also broke the record for most amount of streams for a first promoted single, amounting in a total of 76.1 million streams. This song has gained its popularity from her previous well-known roles on Disney Channel and its high use on the social media app TikTok. Let's go to sports where Sean Velez catches us up on what's been happening on and off the field.
On January 13th, NBA superstar James Harden was traded from the Houston Rockets to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for a few players and 8 first-round draft picks. It was known that Harden was disgruntled after he requested to be traded in late November. However, the Rockets didn't trade him, and he was clearly not giving much effort on the court. Then, he publicly requested a trade again at a post-game press conference on January 12th, saying, "The situation, quote, can't be fixed," unquote. Harden now teams up with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn, making the Nets the championship favorite. On January 11th, the Alabama Crimson Tide won the college football national championship 52-24 against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Mac Jones accounted for 464 yards through the air and 5 touchdowns. Heisman winner Devonta Smith had 250 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns in just one half of action. The victory also was Nick Saban's 7th national title win, making him the all-time leader in national championships as a coach. NFL quarterback Phillip Rivers has announced his retirement after playing 17 seasons in the NFL. Rivers played 16 seasons with the Los Angeles Chargers and his final season with the Indianapolis Colts. He ranks 5th in the NFL history with 63,440 passing yards, along with being 5th in the league with 421 touchdown passes.
Thanks, Sean. Finally, Mallory Beck shares with us some words of wisdom.
When you were much younger, it was important that someone look after you at all times. Your parents and caregivers kept watch so they could protect you, guide you, and make sure you behaved properly. You're older now, and you have many more opportunities to be alone and to make choices when no one's looking. Now listen carefully to these words by former U.S. Congressman J.C. Watts. Character is doing the right thing when nobody's looking. There are too many people who think that the only thing that's right is to get by, and the only thing that's wrong is to get caught. It's true. You may get by with some poor choices when you think nobody's looking, but guess what? There's one very important person who is always watching, who always sees when you are acting without character. That important person is you, and your opinion of yourself matters greatly. Make it a great day, or not. The choice is yours.